The sweltering July sun beat down on the quiet suburban neighborhood of Glendale, California. The streets shimmered in the afternoon heat, and the air carried the scent of freshly mowed lawns and blooming jasmine. At the corner of Maple Avenue, a bright yellow lemonade stand stood proudly, decorated with hand-drawn signs that read, "Fresh lemonade, help Mia fight cancer." Behind the stand stood Mia Thompson, a 10-year-old girl with a heart full of dreams and a body fighting against time. She wore a colorful bandana over her head, concealing the effects of chemotherapy. Her once golden brown curls were gone, but her bright blue eyes still sparkled with determination. Mia's mother, Sarah, sat nearby on a foldable chair, watching her daughter with a mix of pride and sorrow. Mia had been diagnosed with leukemia just months ago, and while insurance covered some treatments, the mounting medical bills had become overwhelming. They had exhausted their savings, and the idea of setting up a lemonade stand had been Mia's own idea. "If life gives you lemons, make lemonade," she had said with a grin, despite her frail condition. That morning, Mia had squeezed lemons with all the strength she could muster, mixed them with sugar and water, and set up her little stand with the help of her best friend, Lily. The girls had spent the past week making posters, crafting a social media post, and even convincing the local bakery to donate a few cookies for extra sales. First, business was slow. The occasional jogger or dog walker stopped by, offering a few dollars in exchange for a cold cup. But then, something magical happened. A local news reporter spotted the stand and shared a photo of Mia on Twitter with the caption, "A brave little girl is selling lemonade to pay for her chemo. Glendale, let's show her some love." Within an hour, cars began pulling up. Strangers arrived with $5, $10, even $20 bills, some refusing the lemonade but insisting on making a donation. Some even brought flowers, teddy bears, and handwritten notes of encouragement. Mia couldn't believe it. "Mom," she whispered excitedly, "people really care." Sarah wiped a tear from her eye and nodded. "Yes, sweetie, they really do." But Mia had no idea that her day was about to become even more extraordinary. And that's when Rita Moreno walked by. Mia was busy pouring a fresh cup of lemonade when a sudden hush fell over the growing crowd around her stand. Whispers rippled through the onlookers, and someone gasped softly. Lily nudged Mia's arm, her eyes wide with disbelief. "Mia, look." Mia turned her head, expecting to see another kind stranger with a donation in hand. Instead, her eyes landed on a graceful woman with silver-streaked hair, a radiant smile, and an unmistakable presence. Rita Moreno. The Rita Moreno, legendary actress, singer, and one of only a few people to ever achieve EGOT status. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony winner. She was dressed casually in jeans, a white blouse, and a sun hat, but there was no mistaking her. The crowd parted as she stepped forward, her eyes twinkling with warmth as she took in the sight of the lemonade stand and the little girl behind it. Mia's heart pounded in her chest. Even at 10 years old, she knew exactly who Rita Moreno was. She had watched West Side Story with her mom, mesmerized by Anita's confidence and fire. Rita crouched slightly so she was at eye level with Mia. Well, what do we have here?" she said in a voice as smooth as silk. "A lemonade stand with the most important mission I've ever seen." Mia swallowed hard, her voice coming out in a whisper. "Why, you're Rita Moreno." Rita chuckled. "Guilty as charged, sweetheart." Lily, barely containing her excitement, blurted, "Oh my gosh, are you here to buy lemonade?" Rita gave a dramatic nod. "Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world." She reached into her purse and pulled out a crisp $100 bill. "I think this should cover one cup, don't you?" The crowd erupted into cheers. Mia's hands trembled as she took the bill and exchanged it for a cup of lemonade. She couldn't believe this was happening. Rita Moreno, an actual Hollywood legend, was standing at her little lemonade stand, drinking her lemonade. After taking a sip, Rita smacked her lips together and gave a playful wink. Now that is some Oscar-worthy lemonade." The crowd laughed, and Mia's heart swelled with happiness. But Rita wasn't done yet. She set down her cup and turned to Sarah. I heard about your little girl's story on social media, and I have to say, Mia, you are one extraordinary young lady. Mia beamed, but before she could respond, Rita did something that left everyone in stunned silence. She took out her phone, tapped on the screen a few times, and then put it on speakerphone. A deep, familiar voice crackled through the speaker. "Hey, Rita, what's up?" Rita grinned and gestured to Mia. "I have someone very special here who's selling lemonade for her chemo treatment, and I thought we could help her out a little more." Mia's breath caught in her throat, because that voice on the phone, it belonged to Lin-Manuel Miranda. The moment Lin-Manuel Miranda's voice rang through the speakerphone, a collective gasp swept through the crowd. People instinctively leaned in, their eyes darting between Rita Moreno, Mia, and the phone in Rita's hand. Mia's mouth fell open. Lin-Manuel Miranda, the genius behind Hamilton and In the Heights, the man whose songs she had belted out in her room, even on the days when chemotherapy drained every ounce of her energy. Her little hands gripped the edge of the lemonade stand, her heart hammering against her ribs. Hi, Mia stammered. Rita chuckled and held the phone closer to Mia. "Lin, meet Mia. She's a 10-year-old warrior, fighting leukemia and selling some of the best lemonade in California." There was a slight pause before Lin's voice came back, warm and full of admiration. "Mia, it's an honor to meet you. I heard about your lemonade stand, and I gotta say, you're an inspiration. How's business?" Mia took a deep breath, trying to find her voice. Really good. A lot of people have come by today." Lin's voice brightened. "That's what I like to hear. Listen, I want to help out. Rita, put me on video call." Rita tapped the screen, and suddenly, Lin-Manuel Miranda's face appeared. The crowd lost it. People were grabbing their phones, snapping pictures, and recording videos. Mia couldn't believe it. This was actually happening. Lin smiled wide. "Mia, I think what you're doing is incredible. I'd love to donate to your cause. In fact," he glanced off-screen for a moment, then looked back at her. "Let's make this big. I'm gonna match every dollar you raise today. However much you make, I'll double it." Gasps and cheers erupted from the onlookers. Mia felt tears pricking at her eyes. "Wait, really? Really?" Lin said firmly. "I believe in you, kid, and I want to see you get the best care possible." Sarah, who had been standing off to the side, covered her mouth in shock. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "Oh my God!" Mia's hands trembled as she clutched her lemonade pitcher. This couldn't be real. But then Lin grinned. "Actually, you know what? Let's make this even bigger." Rita raised an eyebrow. "What are you scheming, Lin?" Lin leaned closer to the camera. "I'm gonna post this on my social media right now. Let's get everyone in on this. I have a feeling the world is about to show up for Mia." The crowd roared. Mia's heart swelled with a feeling she hadn't experienced in months. Hope. Real, powerful, electric hope. She wasn't just a sick kid trying to survive. She was a warrior. And now, the whole world was about to fight alongside her. Lin-Manuel Miranda wasn't kidding. Within minutes, he had shared a video of his call with Mia on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, urging his millions of followers to help. At Lin_Manuel. "This is Mia. She's 10, she's a fighter, and she's selling lemonade to pay for her chemo. Let's change her life. Every dollar you donate today, I'm matching. Let's do this." #MIA's Miracle Lemon Yellow Heart. The moment the post went live, everything exploded. Mia's lemonade stand, which had already drawn a decent crowd, suddenly turned into the most famous street corner in America. Cars began lining up down the block. People sprinted over, cash in hand, desperate to be part of something bigger. Sarah's phone buzzed uncontrollably. Calls, texts, PayPal notifications, donation alerts. Within 15 minutes, her Venmo account was flooded with more transactions than it had ever seen before. And then the big one happened. A notification popped up on Sarah's phone that made her legs go weak. GoFundMe donation, $10,000. From Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The crowd around the lemonade stand collectively lost their minds. Mia's eyes nearly bulged out of her head. Did The Rock just give me $10,000? Lily screamed. The Rock just donated. Sarah, still clutching her phone, let out a choked sob. Oh my God, this can't be real. Then came another donation. GoFundMe donation, $5,000. From Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. And another GoFundMe donation, $3,000. From Kristen Bell. The numbers kept climbing. People weren't just buying lemonade anymore. They were saving Mia's life. Somewhere in the chaos, Mia saw Rita Moreno watching the scene unfold with a proud smile. She gave Mia a wink. This is what happens when you put good into the world, sweetheart, Rita said gently. It finds its way back to you. Tears streamed down Mia's face. She looked up at her mom, then at Lily, then at the overwhelming sea of kindness in front of her. She had started this day just hoping to sell enough lemonade to make a small dent in her medical bills. Now, she was watching a miracle unfold right in front of her eyes. And the best part? It was only getting started. The once quiet suburban street in Glendale had transformed into something out of a movie. News vans had arrived, reporters scrambling to get the story on camera. Aerial shots from helicopters captured the incredible sight. Dozens of people waiting in line to buy a cup of lemonade from a 10-year-old girl who was now the heart of a national movement. Mia, still in shock from the massive donations, could barely keep up. Every time she poured a new cup, another 5 or 10 people lined up. A group of volunteers from the neighborhood had stepped in, taking turns restocking supplies, handling payments, and even bringing in extra pitchers to keep up with demand. Then, just as Mia thought things couldn't get any wilder, an SUV with tinted windows pulled up. The crowd murmured in curiosity as the door opened, and out stepped a woman in oversized sunglasses and a chic white blazer. Lily squinted. Wait a second. Is that... The woman removed her sunglasses and smiled. It was Jennifer Lopez. The crowd erupted. Mia's jaw dropped. J-Lo? J-Lo approached the lemonade stand with the confidence of someone who had just stepped off a stadium stage. She gave Rita Moreno a hug. After all, Rita had played Anita in West Side Story long before she had. Then she turned to Mia and crouched down. Sweetheart, I had to come see you, J-Lo said, her brown eyes warm with admiration. You're changing lives today. Mia was speechless. J-Lo reached into her purse and pulled out a check. She placed it gently into Mia's hands. Mia blinked at the number, then blinked again. $50,000. The crowd gasped. Sarah let out a sob. Even Rita looked floored. J-Lo smiled. This is for you, Mia Moore. Keep fighting. We're all behind you. Mia couldn't hold back anymore. She threw her arms around J-Lo, tears streaming down her face. Thank you, she whispered. J-Lo hugged her tightly. No, thank you. The cameras flashed. The world was watching. And Mia? She had just gone from selling lemonade to leading a movement. Mia still couldn't process what was happening. Just a few hours ago, she had been a little girl with a lemonade stand, hoping to help her mom with medical bills. Now, she was hugging Jennifer Lopez, standing next to Rita Moreno, and watching the donations for her treatment skyrocket past anything she had ever imagined. The GoFundMe page, which had started with a modest goal of $20,000, was now nearing $500,000. The numbers ticked upward every second. Sarah, her mother, was trembling as she looked at her phone. Mia, sweetheart, she choked out. You're going to get all the treatment you need. The crowd cheered. Some people clapped. Others wiped their eyes. But Mia, she looked up at her mom and whispered, Mom, this isn't just about me anymore. Sarah's breath caught in her throat. Mia turned back to the crowd, her little hands shaking as she stepped onto her lemonade stand so she could see everyone better. Everyone fell silent. Mia cleared her throat and took a deep breath. I just wanted to sell lemonade to help my mom with my chemo, she said, her voice small but steady. But this is bigger than that. She looked at the growing line of people, at the news cameras, at the kind strangers who had come from all over California just to help her. I know there are other kids out there who need help, too, Mia continued. Kids like me. Kids fighting cancer. Kids whose families don't have enough money for medicine. I don't want this to just be for me. I want to help them too. A hush fell over the crowd. Sarah covered her mouth, overwhelmed by her daughter's strength. Mia took a deep breath and smiled. So I want to use some of this money to help other kids get their treatments too. The crowd exploded into applause. People cheered, clapped, some even cried. Even J-Lo wiped away a tear. Rita Moreno shook her head with admiration. Mia, you just turned this into something even bigger than all of us. Mia's heart was full. This wasn't just about her anymore. It was about something greater. And she had one more surprise coming. The energy around Mia's lemonade stand was electric. People were chanting her name, donating more than ever, and crying tears of joy. But then, the buzz in the air shifted when another car pulled up. This time, it wasn't just any car. It was a sleek black Tesla with tinted windows. The driver stepped out first, tall, in a crisp suit, scanning the crowd before opening the back door. And out stepped Ellen DeGeneres. The crowd lost it. Lily grabbed Mia's arm. Mia, that's Ellen. From TV. From the internet. From everything. Mia could barely breathe. Ellen, in her signature blazer and sneakers, flashed a big smile as she made her way through the crowd. The cameras swarmed, reporters practically tripping over themselves to capture the moment. Where's my girl Mia? Ellen called out. Mia timidly raised her hand, feeling the entire world's eyes on her. Ellen crouched down beside her. Oh my gosh! Look at you. You are just the most amazing little human being ever. Mia blushed. Thank you. Ellen looked at the lemonade stand and then turned back to the crowd. I saw this online, and I said, you know what? I have to meet this kid. Mia smiled shyly. Ellen reached into her pocket and pulled out a check. Now, I know you've already raised a lot today, Ellen said, but I wanted to help just a little bit more. She handed the check to Mia, who stared at the number. Her heart nearly stopped. $100,000. The crowd erupted. Sarah let out a sob. Lily screamed. J-Lo gasped. Ellen grinned. That's to help with your treatments and to get you started on that foundation you want to build for other kids. You're not just changing your own life, Mia. You're changing so many lives. Mia blinked away tears, overwhelmed. Then Ellen leaned in and whispered, oh, and one more thing. She pulled out her phone and started a video call. Mia's heart was already racing. But then the face on the screen appeared, and Mia nearly fainted, because staring back at her from the phone screen was Oprah Winfrey. The moment Oprah Winfrey's face appeared on Ellen's phone screen, the world seemed to freeze. The crowd gasped. The reporters went into a frenzy. Even J-Lo looked shocked. Mia? She was speechless. Oprah's warm, radiant smile filled the screen. Mia, my goodness. I have been hearing so much about you, young lady. Mia swallowed hard. Why you have? Oprah chuckled. Oh, honey, everybody has. Ellen grinned and held up the phone so the cameras could capture the moment. Oprah, tell Mia why you're calling. Oprah's voice turned soft, but powerful. Mia, I have been so moved by your story. You're not just fighting for yourself, you're fighting for other kids too. And when I see someone like you, a true warrior, well, I just knew I had to do something. Mia's hands trembled. Oprah continued, so I want to help. I'm donating $250,000 to your medical fund, and to help you start your foundation for kids with cancer. Silence. Then, the biggest, loudest eruption of cheers yet. People were crying, screaming, hugging. Sarah, overcome with emotion, collapsed into a chair, sobbing. Even Rita Moreno clutched her chest. Madre mia. Mia, completely overwhelmed, had tears streaming down her cheeks. This is too much. I don't even know what to say. Oprah's voice was kind. You don't have to say anything, sweet girl. Just keep being who you are. The world is behind you. Ellen grinned. And Mia, you're coming on my show next week. We're gonna tell your story to the whole world. Mia let out a shaky laugh between her tears. This was real. This was happening. And her lemonade stand? It had just turned into something bigger than she could have ever imagined. The sun had begun to set over Glendale, casting a golden glow over the street where Mia's lemonade stand had once seemed like just a small idea. Now, it was a symbol of hope, generosity, and the power of kindness. The total donations had surpassed $1 million. That was more than enough to cover all of Mia's medical treatments, help her family with expenses, and, most importantly, kickstart her dream of helping other kids battling cancer. Reporters were everywhere, broadcasting the incredible story. Headlines spread across the internet like wildfire. Small Blue Diamond, 10-year-old's lemonade stand raises over $1 million after Rita Moreno and Lin-Manuel Miranda join in. Small Blue Diamond, J-Lo, Ellen, and Oprah step up to help brave girl fighting cancer. Small Blue Diamond, how one child's lemonade stand inspired a nation. Sarah, still in tears, knelt beside her daughter, holding her close. Mia, do you know what this means? She whispered. Mia nodded slowly. It means I can help other kids like me. Sarah's heart swelled with pride. As the crowd slowly began to thin, exhausted but exhilarated, Rita Moreno knelt beside Mia. You changed the world today, sweetheart. Mia smiled, tired but happy. I just wanted to make some lemonade. Rita laughed warmly. Well, you did. And you also made a miracle. That night, when Mia finally got home and crawled into bed, she stared at the ceiling with a heart full of gratitude. She knew her battle wasn't over. Cancer was still a fight, but she wasn't fighting alone anymore. The world was with her, and she had just proven that even the smallest acts, like selling lemonade, could change lives forever. Little did she know, this was just the beginning. The next morning, Mia woke up to a house filled with happiness, relief, and something that had been missing for a long time, hope. Sarah had been on the phone nonstop. Hospitals, charity organizations, news stations, everyone wanted to know how Mia planned to use the money to help other children. By noon, Ellen's producers had confirmed Mia's upcoming appearance on The Ellen Show. By the afternoon, Oprah's team had sent details about a new foundation they wanted to help her launch. By the evening, Lin-Manuel Miranda had tweeted, Mia, you are a force. Let's write a song together for your foundation. Hashtag MIA's Miracle Lemon, a song written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. About her, Mia couldn't believe it. But the biggest moment of all? The very next day, Mia got a call from St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. They had heard about her story and wanted to partner with her. With the money she had raised, they wanted to help her set up a special program for kids like her, kids fighting cancer, kids who needed hope. Mia said yes without hesitation. This wasn't just about her anymore. This was about every single child fighting the same battle. And so, just a week after her lemonade stand went viral, Mia stood in front of a giant crowd at a press conference, with J-Lo, Ellen, and Rita Moreno standing beside her. She held the microphone, her tiny hands shaking just a little. My name is Mia Thompson, she said, looking out at the cameras, the faces, the world. And I want every kid fighting cancer to know, you're not alone. We're in this together. The crowd roared with applause. And just like that, Mia's Lemonade Stand Foundation was born. A foundation that would go on to help thousands of children. A foundation that started with one little girl, a pitcher of lemonade, and a dream. And as Mia took a deep breath, looking up at the sky with a quiet smile, she knew this was just the beginning of something much, much bigger than herself. Because kindness, love, and hope, they never stop growing. Lemon Yellow Heart.